friends, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Stacy, and in this video we are making homemade guacamole. I have lots of avocados here that are perfectly ripe, so let's get started. All right, friends, I have all my ingredients I need. I've got the avocado. We have some white onion, which is actually left over from our last video. If you did not watch that, I will link that below. We have some lime, cilantro, tomatoes, a little jalapeno, salt and pepper, and we are good to go. So I have quite a few avocados here. Now, whenever you visit our home, we love avocado, and we pretty much have it on the counter at all times. And we're pretty much, how many I got in here? Oh gosh, I got like 6 avocados in here, and they are perfectly ripe, ready for guacamole. Now, when you are buying your avocados at the store, I always, if the best way to tell if the avocado is ripe is you want to just pick it up, feel it. It's a little firm, yet a little soft. Another way to be able to tell is to take the little top right here, and if you pull that off, let's get that off right over here, and look inside and it's green and not brown, then you know you have a perfectly ripe avocado. However, at the end of the day, no matter what technique you use to, determine whether or not this avocado is ripe and whatnot, you really just won't know until you cut it open, because maybe it was dropped on the floor or something like that and it could be bruised. You just don't know till you open it, so it's a surprise. All right, so I have my knife out here. We're gonna slice this in half, and you definitely wanna be careful so you don't cut your finger. I mean, if you're anything like me, oh my gosh, I'm always chopping a finger and whatnot. So, all right, let's see if we have a good avocado here. Dun, dun, dun. Twist the top off. Oh yeah, she looks beautiful right there. Nice color and everything. Now you do want to take the pit out, and the easy way that I have found is to, you can hold this in your hand. You want to take the base of the knife and just kind of slam it down, but again, I don't want to cut myself, so for safety, I just keep it on the cutting board. Boom. You got slam your knife down, and then you just kind of twist. Boom, you got the pit right out right there. Now let's see if hopefully he doesn't fall right on the floor. All right, now we got our beautiful avocado, and we are going to, first thing, I'm gonna use a butter knife, and you can just kind of slice it inside of its own skin right there. So we're gonna slice one way, slice the opposite way. So I kind of like have little squares. Scoop it out with a spoon, and you're just basically peeling that flesh out right there. Woo, we're falling all over the place. Let's bring this bowl over here. Give it a little scrape because we don't want to waste any of that avocado goodness right there. Oh, avocado is just so good. You could take this and slice it, add a little salt and pepper, serve it in the morning right on top of like scrambled eggs or your poppy eggs, which are sunny side up eggs. We just call them poppy eggs in our house because you pop the yolk and everything. But you cannot go wrong with this, with an avocado. So like I said, we love it in our family. And always find them, you always have them on the countertop when you come over here. But then there's times where it's like, oh my gosh, we didn't do anything with the avocado. It's gonna go bad. So you gotta eat it right away. All right, let's pull this pit out again. Make sure he doesn't slide everywhere. And we're gonna finish slicing these avocados and adding them into our bowl. All right, friends, I have our avocados all chopped up and ready to go, so we are ready to make guacamole. Now, before I get started into adding the other ingredients, I am gonna add a little bit of fresh lime juice to the top of this avocado because I don't want it to turn brown or brown at any point while I'm preparing everything else. So let's take this lime. I give it a nice little roll right here, and what that does is it allows the juices to release and everything. Chop this baby in half. If I can get it chopped. Okay. Oh, there we go. That was a tough one. All right, guys. Right here, we got our little bit of lime juice. Add it into my little juicer, which you kind of want to turn it face down, and that way all the juices come out right at the top or the bottom there. And just kind of, hear that? Yeah, just kind of drizzle that right all over that avocado. And again, like I said, the acid in the lime will help prevent it from turning brown. We're gonna give it a little mix to make sure everything's evenly distributed there. Perfect. All right, guys, leave that as is. Now, for our next ingredient, now we are definitely gonna add some more lime juice, but right now we're gonna work on our other ingredients. Again, I just don't want it to brown or anything like that. So let's add a little bit of chopped onion. And you know what, before we do that, I love, chunky guacamole. I love when it's so chunky you can just pick it up with a chip and eat it like a meal, but this is actually a little bit too chunky. So what we're going to do is we're gonna use our potato masher and we're just gonna mash it up, and it's all personal preference at this point. Some people like their avocado or their guacamole, very fine and really mushy and whatnot. I like mine to be a little bit more chunky, but we are gonna give it a slight little mush here because, it is a little too chunky, so there you go. And like I said, you can either use a fork or a potato masher, but we have a good amount of avocados in here. I used 3 avocados, so let's give it a quick little mash. Mix that up just a little bit. There you go, and perfect. So you still have those whole chunks of avocado goodness in there. It is a little bit of mash, so it's just nice little even amount there. So, alrighty. Now, what we're gonna do is we are going to add our onion, and what I'm using is a white onion. So let's give this a quick little chop here. Pull up this layer right there, that little thicker layer. And a lot of people, again, the great thing about guacamole is it is all personal preference. You don't have to there's not one set recipe where it's like, oh, you gotta make it like this. You can customize it for yourself for what you prefer. I know some people don't like onions, so maybe you just don't add as many onions, or maybe you chop them really finely, or maybe you just don't add onion at all. You could do an onion powder to add a little bit more flavor. Let's give this a quick little chop here. But I love onions. I will eat onions all the time. I add them into my tuna fish. I pretty much cook with onions all the time as well. So, but yeah, there's just nothing like an onion. Of course, the family prefers only fried onions, and who doesn't? You fry anything and it's quite delicious. So, but we're gonna give this a quick little chop here. Nothing too perfect. I don't like all my ingredients to be like perfectly chopped and anything like that, because you know what? I'm just a little home cook, and yeah, it's never gonna be perfect, but as long as it tastes good and looks good, that's all that matters. So let's finish giving this a quick chop. Chop, chop, chop. And then we're gonna add this right into our avocado. Boom, add that onion goodness right there. Perfect, guys. And there you go, right on top of our avocado right there. Let me give my hands a little rinse. Okay, let's put this onion up. What do we have next? Now, tomatoes. I love tomatoes in my guacamole. It just adds a little burst of sweetness, flavor, and I just love tomatoes. Now, again, you can use if you don't like tomatoes, you can leave the tomatoes out, or really use any tomatoes that you have on hand, whether it be like I have some heirloom cherry tomatoes, or maybe you have the beefsteak tomatoes or Roma tomatoes. Whatever tomato you prefer to use or have on hand, feel free to add it to your guacamole. It's still going to taste amazing. But look I thought with these little heirloom tomatoes, aren't these beautiful? This yellow orange color. We've got like a deep red. I just thought it will add such a beautiful little pop of color into our guacamole. Now what I'm gonna do, because this is a small tomato, I'm gonna grab a serrated knife. All right here, because I have found it's a lot easier for me to use like a serrated knife when cutting a little cherry tomato like this. Now, if you have a tomato that is really juicy, and as you're cutting it and all the juices are coming out and all that goodness, all that sweet tomato goodness, what I recommend doing is after you finish chopping it up, take that tomato, add it onto a paper towel, and allow the paper towel to absorb all that juice. Because if you're anything like me, I definitely do not like to have my guacamole to be too watery. Then, you got the potential where it could fall off the chip or whatever you're eating off of right under your shirt. And oh my gosh, guys, I'm always having some type of food stain on my t-shirt. It's inevitable. So, but that's what I always recommend doing. Like I said, if you have a tomato like this one, look at all that. juicy goodness right there. Oh, but beautiful tomato. All those seeds coming out. Let me move this, make sure you guys can see that there. So we're gonna kind of scrape that over there because I don't want, again, I don't want my guacamole to be too wet. I want it to eat like a meal, nice thick hearty guacamole. But these tomatoes are beautiful. I love all these beautiful tomatoes. Now guys, I love to cook. I mean, I may not cook often, but I do enjoy cooking. And sometimes just sitting here chopping, I find it peaceful and kind of therapeutic, you know, so, but I do enjoy it. Years ago, when I was like in my early 20s, I used to work for a restaurant. Actually was a server there at night, but during the day I actually worked in the kitchen. So I did all the salad prep. We made homemade coleslaw. We also made a pistachio cheesecake. Oh, it was so good. I never knew how to shrink down the recipe, so I could only make like one giant restaurant style cheesecake, but it was amazing. I enjoyed, you know, doing that food prep in the kitchen. That was fun. Good times. But nowadays, you know, I'm so busy. I don't always cook as often as I'd like to, and a lot of times, do you ever find yourself always making like the same meal all the time? Like the family's all like, oh, let me guess, grilled chicken with broccoli. Oh my gosh. I've changed it up since then. I've been adding some new things. So we do shepherd's pie a lot. Shepherd's pie is really good. But I made something the other night, guys, that was so delicious. I had taken wild caught shrimp, some sausage, and I added in vegetables, asparagus, red peppers, onions with some Cajun seasoning, threw it in a pan, cooked it. It was amazing. If you guys want me to share that with you, leave a comment below and let me know, but that was delicious. All right, guys, so we're adding our tomato right to our avocado there. Perfect. And what else? We added our onion. I'll make sure I don't forget anything. I feel like those cookies the other day. But those cookies did turn out good, so. All right, now we're gonna add a little jalapeno. So let's get started, all right. Let's give this a little scrape over there. Chop this bad boy. Now, all the spice of the jalapeno is all the seasoning or all that hot spice is in the seeds of the jalapeno. So I'm gonna take these out because I don't like things to be too spicy. I don't mind a little bit of spice, but I don't want too much spice. We have a few seeds in here. I'm not gonna leave too many seeds because I don't want it to be too spicy. We like things in our, you know, our food to have a little bit of a spice, but not too much. Not where it's so hot that I can't even taste the food. So let's give this a nice little chop. So a long time ago, when my girls were younger, apparently I had some jalapenos in the house, and all of a sudden the girls come running out of the kitchen and they're screaming, oh my gosh, my eyes are burning, my eyes are burning. And I'm thinking, what happened? You know, of course I'm freaking out at that point. And come to find out, they were like having some form of food fight where they're throwing jalapenos at each other. I mean, who does that, you know? And of course all the oils on the skin of the jalapeno was all over their hands, and then they go and rub their eyes and boom, there you go. You got itchy, burny eyes, and it was just a hot mess. So kids can be so crazy sometimes. I just don't understand them. But I'm gonna give this a nice fine chop. So we're gonna keep chopping that. I still got, like I said, a little bit of seeds in there because I don't mind a little bit of spice, but I don't want something that's too spicy. So chop, chop, chop. Add that right into your avocado right there. I still have a little bit extra left over, but I don't want to add too much, so we're going to keep that off to the side. And now for my favorite part is adding the cilantro. Cilantro smells so good. And again, going back to personal preference, you know, a lot of people don't like cilantro, so you don't have to add it into your guacamole, but to me, I feel like this is what takes it from avocado to guacamole. So holy moly guacamole. All right, so what I'm gonna do is bring these stems together just like that because we basically want to give a rough chop to all the leaves there. That's where all that flavor is. Chop that there, alrighty. And a little mess here. I try to use everything on one board because I'm the one that does all the cleaning and try to keep everything all on one board so that way I don't have too much of a mess. But let's try to roll this up as best we can. Roll this up, bring all these leaves together. and give it a real great rough chop right here. Yeah, I mean, doesn't that sound good? Hearing that chop, oh yeah, such a good sound. Good sound there. I love it. Oh, and you can smell the aroma of the cilantro. It just smells so good. It has like a little peppery, I don't know, to me like a kind of a licorice smell. Sounds crazy because that's more like fennel, but oh, just a fresh smell that's quite delicious. Give that a nice little chop. Now my board's a little bit wet here, all from those tomatoes, so maybe next time I should wipe down my board, but that's all right. All right, add this right into the avocado. Boom, there you go. And let's not leave any of this cilantro goodness. We are gonna add it in there, and you are good to go. All right, now what we want to do is we want to add salt. Perfect. We want to add fresh ground pepper. Again, you don't have to if you don't like, pepper, but we love that peppery goodness. And we're gonna add in a little bit more lime juice to make sure we have plenty of that lime juice. I already got that lime in there. Woo, that squeezed everywhere. I'm gonna smell like lime juice all day. I'll be walking around, people will be thinking I'm drinking margaritas all day long. Now margaritas with this guacamole, oh, now you're talking. Now you are talking. Now let's give that a little squeeze there. And then I always turn over my juicer because there is definitely some extra juice left in there. Oh, give that a good squeeze, perfect. And now let's mix it up. Oh, look at all that goodness right there. Just kind of folding it together because I don't want to mush the ingredients too much because again, then you'll just have a big mashed up mess unless you like that, so. And it's so pretty with these little bits of color of the orange and yellow tomatoes. So pretty, so pretty. All right, let's take a little bit of, we do not want to waste any of the cilantro here. Kind of give this another little rough chop. Perfect, there we go. Let's grab a bowl. All right, I got this bowl right over here. Add this right in here. And I'm telling you guys, you could just add this on like grilled chicken, eggs, steak, or a lot of times, if you're like me and my husband, we will literally eat it out of the bowl like it's a bowl of candy because it is definitely good, good to eat, so. Guacamole goodness here. I want all those little tomatoes to really shine because I just think they are so beautiful. Put this over here. Top it with a little bit of cilantro, maybe another touch of salt. Oh. Look how good that looks. I have the fresh cilantro right on top. I have that beautiful, those heirloom tomatoes really shining through. I'm gonna step in closer to the camera so you guys can get a real good look of this guacamole. Ah, there you go, look at that. Look at that guacamole goodness right there. Let's open a bag of chips and give this a taste. All right, I have these Old Florida gourmet tortilla chips. They are delicious. They have a little bit of spice right on the chip there. Open these up. Here we have our nice chip. Scoop that in there. Now see how that scoops? Look at that. I love when it, actually we gotta get a little tomato. I might have to add more tomato in here, but I just love when it's not dripping too much of that tomato juice or anything like that. It's just very thick and hearty. So let's give this a taste. Oh my gosh, guys, this has so much flavor. This is so delicious. I feel like I got avocado all over my face. All right. But this is just so fresh with the lime juice, the fresh cilantro, the onion, the tomatoes. Hands down, this is just amazing. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.